There it is. And I'm off and running. Right on.
I'm tired of being the invisible man. The invisible man. Oh, the invisible man.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. We are 6 minutes late because I screwed something up this time. Okay, we are live. We've got Phil Dupree, aka Colorado Phil, joining us today. We are going to have some problems with the stream, so we're going to be. I think all of us here are going to be jumping back and forth, posting links to make sure that everybody gets it who are supposed to. So Colorado Phil is going to be joining us as our host regularly going forward. But for now, we're going to do an introduction in a couple of weeks. We're going to do another show, just the three of us, me, Phil, and Ryan, and we'll get to that. But we're going to go straight to, before we go see Carla, I'm just going to send us upstairs to the balcony. We actually have a balcony now for the audience. So let's see what they have to say.
Okay, I'll give this show one more try. Nothing can be as bad as the last show. Actually, nothing will be better than the last show.
Oh, that gets funnier every time I see it. Anyhow, so Carla is our special guest today. Carla Bonnell is the owner and manager of HG Broadcasting, and it was founded in 2017 to promote independent artists. She hosts a weekly show for artists, Carla's Coffee House, that is in syndication. A weekly podcast actually just, I think, either just started or I just noticed on her Facebook page. Go check that out. Entertain, lots of music, and she has a whole series of accolades and awards there. One of them, a couple of them here, 2014 Minto Country Music Wall of Fame inductee, and Indie Radio Folk Song of the Year 2015. There's a couple, lots more, but we only have an hour, so we will actually move straight over and say hello to Carla. How you doing?
Hey, good.
Yes, we had that. We had this all nice and planned. We went through it all, and it completely went up the. Hey, anyhow. So how are you?
How it happens sometimes.
Doing well.
Thanks
this is quite a fun little thing here.
It is, and we've had so much fun, and we haven't even been on the air.
That's right.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, so actually, Phil, say hello, because I don't think we were going to start with you, and I forgot. So
buenos dias. ¿Cómo estás, everybody? Hope everybody's doing muy bien. Welcome aboard.
Hey, that's some kind of strange foreign accent you've got, old man.
A French chicken.
Yeah, you're not Canadian like us. Right? You're not Canadian like the rest of us, eh? Jolly good.
Hey.
So, Carla, we'll move on with the show.
I'll just step away for a minute, guys.
No, stay there.
What? No.
Okay.
Still there?
Well, actually, if you hadn't said anything, Phil, no one would have noticed because the camera wouldn't be on you.
Woo!
There we go. Perfectly done. So, Carla, was there okay? Did I make any mistakes in the intro? Was it factually correct?
Yes, it was. Very good.
Anything that you'd like to add on there? Blow your own trumpet?
Not really.
Okay. Because I've got like half a page here. I mean, there's lots. Anyhow. So I no doubt you have a see online that you kind of market yourself as. Phil, you're putting me off. Let me flip that over. There we go. Here we go. Was it country blues? So that's kind of interesting. I mean, what kind of led you down that road rather than just one or the other?
I've never actually. The songs that I wrote had so many varied influences in the music part of it. I wasn't pure country. I wasn't pure rock, and I didn't even fall really into the folks. So thank God for subgenres, because I now have a place in subgenres more so than anything. But when I was playing covers when I was younger, and I still do, I love playing covers. I love music. a lot of the I guess you could say the music that I was attracted to, that I love to play, and I kind of bonded with, was not mainstream, not completely mainstream. It was a little bit off the edge. Like I love the Steve Earles and John Mellencamp's and those guys that once they made their big hits, they really went and started doing music that they really wanted to do, and they created a sound for themselves. And that's the kind of sound I think that still influences me. Like even Leonard Skinner wasn't really mainstream rock and roll. They were always considered Southern rock. They were a little bit off to the side. So that's kind of where my influence comes from.
Okay, nice. Now, are there any other genres? Any other genres? I can't even talk, can I? Any other genres that inspire you? And is there anything that you haven't tried professionally or in public that you really wish you were good at?
Opera.
That's impossible. She's good at
Winfrey?
everything.
Yeah. No.
Just had to say that. Nothing. No, I have tried almost everything. Thank goodness for my Uncle Freddie. If you're watching this, and I doubt you are, but hi.
Hi, Uncle Freddie. Shout out to Uncle Freddie.
He's my inspiration. He's always pushing me to try something different, to go into a different area, to expand outside of my comfort zone. So the only thing that I haven't really done a lot, unless, it was a party in my hometown, is blues, straight out blues. So I have never really done that because I said, leave it to the professionals, and I will leave it to the kitchen party. And I usually do blues and that kind of blues rock when I'm at a kitchen party.
Okay.
Right on. So you had also mentioned that you still like to play a lot of covers. What's your favorite cover that you like to play right now? We do a couple of covers, notably the Beatles, or we play a lot of Beatles. What's your favorite song that you're covered to date, or which one do you like to do your favorite? Is your favorite version of a song?
Well, right now, what's really hot for me, and I'm crazy about it, and it's been out for a while, but I'm late on the draw all the time. It's like, I usually don't hear it on the radio. I hear another band do it and go, ooh, who sings that song? I love it, and right now it's I'm Gonna Make You Love Me by Doc Walker from Canada.
Woohoo, go Doc.
Yeah.
Right on. Before we go on, we got a couple of, we'll call out to everyone who's joined us on the live stream. We got Tina Horak, I hope I'm saying that right, and Bill Buchart. I'm sorry if I'm saying your last names wrong, guys.
I would say Buchart.
Sure, I'll let you. You get mad at Mark if he mispronounced it wrong. I'm sorry, but Tina and Bill, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. So, anyways,
great.
go on ahead with your.
Yeah, for sure. We got actually, I think before we get going, I just wanted to remind everybody we did promote this as a world exclusive. We do have a brand new song and video from Carla that's going to be coming up soon. So we're going to talk about that. It's a bit of a tease. We're not going to do it until a little later in the show, so you got to hang around. But it's a great one. I have seen the video, listened to the song. It is a great one. It's going to be a good one. Tease. So too bad. So I noticed that actually when that your first record. Actually, I'm going to go back a little bit. So after a work contract ended in 2012, you were a regular working gal, and that contract came to an end, and then you just seem to, but at least according to the way you're written about online, is that you just decided to give up, not bother with a regular job, and become a full-time singer-songwriter, and it was as easy as pie. And then you went to Nashville to record your first record. So how did you do that so easily?
Well, I was really that contract I was very attached to. I really liked the work that I was doing at the time, and I was really heartbroken when it ended, and I felt lost. And while I was doing the contract, a friend of mine from Fredericton, BJ McKelvey, he said to me, he said, Carla, do you want to go to Nashville and record an album? I'll produce it for you. I've got connections. Of course, I said, sure, yeah. So we ended up doing it. It was like one of those things that it was like, yeah, okay. And now it's like wrapping up on its own. So my husband, he financed it, and we all flew down to Nashville. I didn't record any of my own originals because we really didn't have the time to do that, because my originals were, they needed some work, because I really never thought of ever putting a song out of my own. So we did this mostly, the Nashville CD was mostly, I wanted to leave something for my kids and my grandkids on record. And when I came back with the recording, I was pretty shocked that when people heard it, they went wild, and they said, "Why aren't you doing this? Are you going to keep doing it? Like, we want this music." So I said, "Well, okay, let's see how it goes." And I was disappointed because I really couldn't promote it the way that I wanted to, because it wasn't my material. It was over my head. It was music I would not have picked to do. It's not my style. So going back to your question originally of have you ever did anything, well, that album was definitely not my style.
Right.
The songwriter was amazing. His name was Sam Mullins. He's still writing songs in Nashville, and he's a friend of mine. So after that, I decided that I wanted to do something a little bit more true to who I was. So that's how it started. And because it had a little bit of success when I did come out with The Liberator, it just exploded. And that's really when the story began.
Okay. And how long after you would make that trip to Nashville did The Liberator come out?
About a year.
It was about a year. And were you able to find regular work as a musician between that time, or was it really the struggle that I think that it probably was?
It was a struggle. Luckily, my husband was still working at the time, and I had a lot of time to finish songs and to do some research to see what was available to me as an independent artist. And you will get a lot of people that will say, you can't make it in this business anymore. Why are you doing this? They will try to discourage you right off the top. And in a way, they're right. It's not the same kind of industry it was 20 years ago, but that doesn't matter. There's another new way that's being born. And I say being born because it's just starting to come into its own, this indie thing. And you'll see a lot of mainstream artists that were big in the country market or big in the rock and roll market at one time, underneath that whole label and publishing type of ideal, are now moving over to indie because they have control over their music, they have control over their life and how they want to live it, and more control over the creative process. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but you know what? You can do it expensive, or you can do it with a decent budget and still get it done. So,
right. Well, actually, just a question popped into my mind. If is that okay?
Yeah. You have my permission.
All right, good.
We're a partnership, man. You can do what you like.
Yeah, right. Okay, there we go. I just want to make sure you weren't on a roll there. Having recorded in Nashville, and that's kind of been an epicenter for recording, right? You either go to LA or you go to New York, or you go to Nashville. Those are sort of your big three areas. Obviously, you can record anywhere in the U.S., but those are sort of like the big three. I'm guessing that you probably have a little bit of recording equipment at home so that you can record what you play. But going from like a big or maybe even a mid-sized studio to start to that independent scene where you kind of DIY, picking up used equipment or searching eBay for deals on recording equipment. What's the difference, the fundamental differences between those two? Because Mark and I did our CD, and we did it some in his basement, some in my basement. We'd take the laptop over to his place, or he'd bring it over to my place, and we'd have all the different recording gear that we could.
Actually, I think that mic we used. Actually,
this mic that I'm talking in now was used to record my stuff. So, and now it's broadcasting. So, what kind of differences do you find working, say, in like a studio? Like an actual studio versus working independently wherever you can in a DIY kind of scene?
Basically bling. It's true. It truly is, because if you have a talented producer you have a talented engineer, and they don't have to have big names, but like big letters behind their name. They don't have to be sitting in a like shiny studio. I mean, all that equipment's wonderful, but it comes down to, do they have an ear to be able to create what you are hearing inside of yourself? Because I just play my tracks on a guitar. Most of us do that, you know. And here's the song. It's raw. And this here release that we're going to be talking about today, that's going to be released soon, was done in a studio, small studio. It's a legitimate studio in Sault Ste. Marie. The guy that produced it, his name's Dustin Jones with Tidal Records. And Dustin's a punk rocker.
Woo-hoo.
And he did the CD for me.
I was there at the beginning of that phase.
I kind of got it in the Renaissance in the 90s.
The world had just become color at that point.
So there's not a lot of difference, you know, in the quality. I don't personally do studio work because I want the creative flow. I want somebody else to hear what I'm critical about. Like when I write a song, I go, oh yeah, well, that's just a piece of crap. And then if somebody else hears it, they might have a vision on it and they go, oh, I hear this in that song, or let us try this and see how it comes out. So for me, it pays to, you know, spend a few $100 and just do one release at a time rather than a full album, so that you get the quality that you want out of that song. There's nothing worse for an artist than to write a song and it just sit there and do nothing. You want to see it grow like a baby. You know, here's the seed. Let's see what the instruments bring to it. Let's see what other people's ideas, other voices that are melded into it. And that's the exciting part of songwriting, is watching that come alive and become something you never even thought it would be.
Yeah, actually, I've got a. I used to have a rule as if I'm working with someone, I'll say, oh, yes, if we've got a recording, listen to it, but I don't want you to do what's on the recording. I want you to do you on this. And we'll certainly have a couple of tracks on the CD, and we didn't use a drum. I used drum loops and rhythm tracks and whatever. And it's just amazing how many musicians will try and copy what's on the record when it's really not physically possible for you to play all of these different pieces of percussion. Don't do that. Be you. And usually you'll get a far better and a far more soulful, has far more life in the performance and in the song if they just do themselves. Yeah,
I find, especially with replacing someone as key as a drummer, right? And we had it. Yeah, okay. So we've got our feel to it, and yeah, we were short a drummer and couldn't find, for the life of us, couldn't find a drummer to for a while. Just couldn't find a drummer to play with. So well, loops it is, and then, which is fine, whatever. And then you do get a drummer, and yeah, you're right. They do want to change it or try and emulate exactly what's on there. So it's just, yeah, I agree with Mark. It's 100%. You know, the way we've always done it is collaborative. Here, I played with this last night. What do you think? Okay, yeah, that's great. Let's build a song around it. Yep. And so that's always done really well to us. Before we move on, we'll say hi to Kimberly L. Gregory and Dolly Dunn. I don't know if Dolly was on before, but hi all, and also a special call out to Jessica, my wife, and probably my little girl watching. Hello, Jessica and Evelyn. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Jessica and Evelyn, and hi, Dolly.
And Kimberly, Kimberly too.
Oh, Kimberly, yes. Actually, there's a little, really silly little thing that happened last night. I was on Facebook texting with Phil and with Carla, just a little bit of arrangements for the show. And I noticed, someone had liked one of the videos, one of the promos, and it was Northwest Records or Northwest Broadcasting. And I went, this looks decent. I liked the page. Started watching the video, and then the person whose video I was watching sent me a friend request. I'm like, what? So I was like, what? They're spying on me. Anyway, so it ended up being Dolly, and it was her video, but it was also her page, so it kind of makes sense. Anyway, so hi Dolly. It's nice for you to join us. I appreciate it.
We also have a Robert and Andreas Lobal, who is a former guest of ours and will be playing with us coming up in an upcoming show on May 25th.
There we go.
So welcome, Robert. We're just doing our call-outs.
Yeah. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Okay, so Phil is back with us, so he'll...
Hola.
There we go, okay.
Hey, it's that guy you are.
Where's that guy with the emoji face? He's gone.
He's under that hat. Yeah.
Right on. How's it going, everybody?
So
I've
everything
been
that-
listening. I was in the garage listening and sharing the video. So
good stuff.
hopefully,
We definitely needed that because with me screwing up the original events, the people that had liked it and were following probably dropped it.
Whoa.
So that was definitely necessary. Thanks, Phil.
it's stuff happens, and I just want to mention to people as you're watching. I think you can share the video as you're watching it right now.
Yeah, I did. I put it on the It's All in the Mind page. So.
And anybody else can share. There's an
Yeah, that's what I
option
mean,
to
yeah.
share. So go ahead,
Oh,
please share.
Yeah, actually, everybody, you must share it. Okay, you must.
Yes.
Yeah.
You must, or I will not remove my shirt. If we hit 20 viewers, I will take my Johnny God Rocks t-shirt off and sit here in my A shirt, which is kind of like a beater, but it sounds better, right?
Now you do know I can control you being on the screen or not, right? So you might not want to take that route. Okay, that's it. So
Oh, did we even mention at all anywhere that on what date was it, Carla? I jumped ship.
Oh, I don't know what the date was, but it was last week, I think.
Or the week before?
Yeah.
Isn't that awful, right? I don't remember exactly, but yeah, hey, everybody that doesn't know yet, the Colorado Phil Show is now heard exclusively on Carla Bonnell's station, HGB Canada, out of Brampton, Ontario.
Woo!
That's all I had so
All
far.
right on.
And she's awesome. She's awesome. I had a breakdown on the air the other day, and I just messaged her, and she said, "Hold on." And next thing I knew, I was off the air. So it's good to know somebody had my back. So thank you, Carla.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetie.
So if you want to watch Phil's show, get the TuneIn app. There we go. I listen to it on the. If nothing else, I listen to it on the way home from work. And actually, the only favorite on there is HGB Canada. So
Yeah.
so I do
right
listen.
on.
I say this online, but I am a legitimate fan of Phil's show. I do listen to it just because it's such a good
I'm
show.
looking at the number, and we're not going to get this shirt off. We're down to 8 now. I shouldn't have said that.
Well, yes.
Well, there's actually we're probably still at 8 because my daughter is watching, but my 2-year-old daughter does not have a Facebook account, so we actually have 8.
Oh,
And don't forget all the shares. I don't know if everything will show up on one. So.
This is true. So
Yeah, so don't worry about the numbers. The numbers will
have we? What's coming up next, guys? I can look at stuff here. I've got stuff ready if you want me to do something, but
actually, well, let's before you do, I mean, certainly, bring something up. Well, if you've got something, then
No,
we'll do
it's
that.
just,
But first, I'd like to
yes.
actually just ask a bit more, find out a bit more about HG Broadcasting, Carla.
Yes.
Where did you get the idea for the station? You know, what kind of, how did you get that started? That kind of thing.
Well, I got started. Actually, I was with BME Canada at the time, and they basically were a promotional label, but they mostly dealt with hip hop. And I was the weird country person that come in, and
Way to
they
break
had a
the
little
mold.
radio station. And I said, hey, that sounds fun to be able to do a show. I said, can I? And Mike said, yeah, sure, you can have a show. So I started Carla's Country Mile there just to showcase country music in my local area around Fredericton, New Brunswick. And then we parted ways, and I left it alone. But I missed doing that. I missed promoting other artists that I love around the area. So I made a Facebook page, and the darn thing, I wasn't planning to do nothing with it. Didn't it go and self-publish without me knowing it? And then I was getting all these messages saying, Carla, what are you doing? What are you doing now? What are you doing? And I'm like, crap, I guess I'm doing a radio station. So we started off slow. We started off with a free server, and I ran it manually 24/7. I got about 4 hours sleep at night. We had about 14 live DJs right out of Atlantic Canada, and I got burnt out very quickly. So I kind of kept it going a little bit. Some of the DJs, of course, it was volunteer, so you can't expect anybody to stay. They're not getting their bread and butter from the place. So it went through a lot of changes in that first year, and I'm like, I got to get it automated somehow. So anyway, I did. I decided to go with automation, which was a godsend. Only thing is, it cost me $100 a month out of my own pocket to do it. But at least I have a life because I did not before. And due to some circumstances that occurred, I decided that, well, you know what? It was originally called Hidden Gems Broadcasting, and it was basically branded to be an Atlantic Canadian station. And I found that we were getting listeners all over the world, and there were people that wanted to get on the station. It was mostly country and rock to start. We had it split up between some DJs. I did the country, and another DJ did the rock. And I said, you know what, I got to do something different, because all the DJs left, and I said, I'm not having any more live DJs. For some reason, Phil's on my show. On my station.
But Phil's a robot. That's okay. Phil's a robot, so we're fine with that.
That would explain
He's that
lots.
wandering Canadian. I said, this guy. But I've never had a bilingual guy on here before, and he's actually trilingual. He throws.
Excuse me. What's the language? This is a family show.
Did I let something slip? I'm sorry.
So yeah, that's what ended up happening. So I when I came out to Brampton, I wasn't even supposed to stay out here, but circumstances led me to stay a little bit longer than I planned, and I just ended up meeting some people, and I rebranded it, and it became HGB Canada Radio. Because the reach became incredible. I'm so busy with the station right now that I don't know how I'm going to be able to swing it all by myself. The emails that I get daily is unreal. We grew 77% last week.
Woohoo! Well, in a week.
Alone.
I was waiting for you to say last year.
A week.
Yeah,
Carla,
you
we need to talk after the show.
So that's kind of how it came about, and I tried to be very fair to everybody. Like I have met metalheads, friends. It don't work. Bam, they leave the station. I tried hip hop. Bam, they leave the station. I can squeeze a little bit of hip hop dance music in there once in a while, like because Phil's show, why his works, it's a variety, and it's all mixed in together. But when people are listening to a rotation and they're into like a country mood, and then all of a sudden, heavy metal comes on, bam, they're gone. And they won't come back. And that's the thing that I learned about radio is you got to be very careful with your listeners, because once you lose your listenership, you're not going to get them back. There's too much choice out there. You got to create that loyalty. And it's difficult. And it takes me 24/7 all the time thinking up ways to keep things rolling for the artist.
Isn't she awesome? I don't know if it's true, Carla. This is the news guy in me asking.
Okay.
Is it true you are the 2017 Brampton, Ontario dwarf tossing champion?
That's what I heard too. I'd like to see the video on that.
Yeah,
me
let's
too.
do it. Let's find that.
Next
Carla
week.
is so awesome. I tell you what, she really is awesome, and you could tell the work that she puts into the station. Like, I'm not knocking the other guys anymore. I'm over my fit, but I wasn't able to listen to them before. Now I can listen to HGB Canada Radio. Well, last week I went like almost every day in the morning listening. I even have a favorite show. There's great shows on there. How does it go? Unapologetically Brie.
Yes.
Which is like a modern Dr. Ruth or Dr. Sudra Hansen. Awesome show. I already messaged her or talked to her in the comments on a post, and I would love to do like a live interview with her, because that is awesome program. And it's not just adult talk it's not just porn. It's not just porn. It's not porn.
Again, family show.
It's not porn.
We're walking
It's adult
that
talk,
fine
based and presented in a modern way.
Yeah.
What's that other one? Something about.
Actually, can I put it on pause there real quick there? I just want to do a shout out to Chris Hlady. I believe that's how I say your name. Sorry, Chris. We've already established I can't pronounce
He's
last name.
He's our fan.
Yeah. So we say thanks. Thanks for joining us, Chris. And yeah, I think he's our last guy. So we're up to the crowd has swollen
Hi,
to
Chris.
9.
Wow.
It's about time you. So, Chris, it's about time you joined.
If it gets to 20, I take this shirt off. Don't forget that. That's an
See that, Chris?
incentive.
Go get some.
Tell your friends. Oh, we dropped again. I said it again, and we dropped again. Oh, we're at 10 again. Oh, my God.
Stop counting it down.
11.
Stop counting.
We're 11 now. Woohoo! Okay, Phil, you can go on. We've done our shout out here.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Listening to the variety of programming on the station. Even, mind you, I was in the garage a few minutes ago doing work, though, but promoting this show. Pardon me. But the indie new music, indie food truck, how does that go?
Yeah, new music indie food truck.
That is an awesome show. I thought I was listening to myself for a short while, but then I stuck around, and no, it wasn't me.
Was there another angry francophone on the?
No, I'm still unique that way. Yep. So yeah, no, it's fun. We have a lot of fun. Carla and I chatting back and forth sometimes during the show, and the last week that's been what's kept me going. Just knowing somebody was there, So. Anyways, you guys, we established that Marge Delahunty is an awesome character.
Marg Delahunty, Princess Warrior. And then you got to swing your sword around.
Again, I'm a French Canadian living in Colorado right now. My language is all over the place.
Good job. We're all Canadians together. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anyone from the US is going to think we're crazy.
Yeah, all you people say, "What's wrong with you fools?"
Yes, did we point that out? That I'm in Colorado live. Ryan and Mark are in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada live.
City.
The
Represent.
204, the 303, and Brampton 418. What is that?
That was going so well there, Phil. That was going so well.
Yeah, I know. What's the area code, Carla?
Do your research.
416.
416.
416. Ooh.
Yeah. So we're all live. So watch out, world. Here we come.
If we're not live, the editor's doing a really horrible job.
Yeah.
That guy's gonna get fired.
But Carla and I share the same freaking dream. Basically, we're both artists. My art is taking you guys' art and putting together this train wreck of a show called the Colorado Phil Show, and mixing it in with UFOs, Bigfoot, now weird laws. I ripped off Carla, so whatever. Welcome to the team, right?
It's homage. It's
Yeah,
homage,
But
right?
we share the same vision of bringing independent music out to the world. It doesn't matter where you're from now. This is the internet, and we can do this. And I think my dream still says that there's a way to find a little bit of something to keep us going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about that damn thing that I forgot all week, the attitude, the hustle, the grind, the representing and repeating.
Yep.
So you guys take over now. I'm all verklempt.
All right.
Verklempt.
Right on. We'll say hi to Cassandra Disney. Thank you for joining us.
Cassandra!
Woohoo, Cassandra in the
Cassandra!
house.
Cassandra is a good friend of mine. We haven't met in person yet, but I feel her and her spouse, which I didn't ask her spouse's name. They've got my back.
Comment that you can write your spouse's name down, Cassandra, as soon as in the comments, and we can give a shout out to him.
But Cassandra is the artist.
Oh, there.
Cassandra is the artist behind Cortex 86 out of Denver, Colorado. And listeners of the show have heard me play her one of her songs that I love. They're all awesome, but the one I'm tripping on right now is called "Not My Day," and it is just awesome, really, really awesome. Because a lot of times it wasn't my day. Oh shit, we're almost to 20. No, we're at 12. But if we hit 20, I'll take this shirt off.
Okay, well, since we've hit that, would have hit an all-time high.
Okay. Now
I think
that I've wrecked the agenda.
Okay, actually, you just led us right into it was the perfect segue. It's about 20 to 3 now. We've got another 20 minutes or so left of the show, and I think this would be a great time to actually to reveal to the world this great track that Carla is releasing shortly, and she's given us the world premiere to play this first time ever anywhere. I think. Well,
We'll say hello to Nicole Disney. That is commented
There's
in there.
Nicole.
So, hello,
Hi,
Nicole.
Thanks for joining us,
So, did you want to
both of you.
Sorry, Carla, did you want to just introduce the song? Say a little bit about it before we play the video?
Sure. This song was written in North Bay, Ontario, and I decided I was going to try something different, a different type of style of writing, and it went over fairly well, and I kept it very simple. I'm a very simple songwriter. I don't use a lot of words. I try to keep things easy, and this song's special to me because it reminds me of my grandmother, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And it was recorded and produced in Sault Ste. Marie by Dustin Jones.
Okay, great. Let's not wait any longer. What's the title of it again?
Raven's Song.
Raven's Song. Here we go. So here's Raven's Song, the first time anywhere in the world.
Weeping willow boughs down by the river, as if to say she can't love anymore along this shore. As she weeps, I could hear the raven from its haven singing an old familiar traditional song.
Oh, my button was muted here, so I'm hearing you, Carla.
A long stem rose lays its forgotten, as if to say love is coming your way any day. Yeah. As it lays, I could hear the raven from its haven singing an old familiar traditional song. You are my sunshine. Oh, you are my sunshine. You are my sunshine. Oh, you are my sunshine. The winter's long when the cold wind blows, as if to say you'll never find an escape. But as it blows, I can hear the raven from its haven singing an old familiar traditional song. You are my sunshine. Whoa, you are my sunshine. You are my sunshine. Whoa, you are my sunshine.
Okay, there you go. What a, moving and touching song. So, What was the thought process through
Oh,
the
guys,
writing of the
guys,
song?
can I jump in?
Yeah, what's up?
I just got a notification on my screen here. Sony Music Entertainment blocked our video because it may contain content that they own.
Oh, for crying out loud! Who was it?
Seriously?
Well,
Yeah,
it came
I
through
just-
on the stream here anyway.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
good.
It
I thought
didn't-
it.
It didn't
Wow.
go out, but yeah, that's
That would be great. Great world exclusive of nothing. Oh.
Yeah.
wonderful. Sony blocked it. Awesome.
Well, so
Let
you
me
s-
look at this, but you guys carry on.
Yeah, well. Yeah. So what was it? What prompted you to actually start writing that? And actually, first of all, I want to say I just love that that fiddle on that. It's just so sweet I just love that. I might just listen to that piece now. It was a great song in entirety.
Absolutely beautiful
Thank you.
video too. Like